Let all cats old enough to catch their own prey gather here beneath the podcast for a clan meeting. Welcome to Paws and Clause, a podcast where we read the Warrior Cats books in chronological order. I'm Scout, joined by my co-host and crafting aficionado Jill, and today we will be discussing Dawn of the Clans, Book 5, A Forest Divided. How's it going, Jill?
Well, as I said, I got 5 hours of sleep last night because I stayed up until 2 a.m. for foolish reasons, honestly. I could have not done that and just gotten up early instead. But it was close enough to the time that I was reading some leaked chapters of a manga online, and I was like, I don't want this spoiled for me, so I'm going to read the leaks, even though I don't usually, but I was like, if what I think is gonna happen, I'm not gonna be able to avoid the spoilers, so I might as well, I was like, it's already almost time for them to start dropping, I might as well stay up, and then it was like, oh, now it's 2 a.m, and I am literally, unable to fall asleep.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, worth it, but also I was an idiot about it, so.
You know, it happens.
It happens. How are you today, Scout?
I'm doing well. In, the opposite version of Unhinged, because I slept in yesterday morning, and that was great, and then I also took, a 2-hour nap. And then I also fell asleep on the couch relatively early at not super early, but 11 p.m. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. Why am I so tired? And so I'm still very tired, but I did get many hours of sleep. But it's just a different, it's unhinged in a different way, in that way when you're like, I've slept a lot and I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm excited about the energy. We are also, this is another daytime recording because both of us were very busy over the last week and a half, and we were like, I don't know Sunday night's gonna be it. I think we might need a little bit extra time, but I'm so excited to talk about this book. Oh my god.
Me too. God. So firstly, Scout, I feel like should ask, other than how you're doing, how's the prey running over there?
How is the prey running? I see in our notes here that you've got some memes to share, and I'm excited about that.
Well, I thought I had some memes, but, I can't seem to find half of them. But, being who we are, our friends know my deep and abiding love for the Warrior Cat series.
We have outed ourselves many a time.
Yeah, and therefore, our friends who don't know anything about the Warrior series will send us Warriors memes. Because they don't understand them, but they know we will. So one of the ones that our dear friend KT, shout out to KT, sent me, that is not related to any particular part of the series. It's just, general Warrior Cats meme. Is a Tumblr post with a bunch of people replying, and the first line of it is just, the first 3 lines are the ones that are important to me. Those are the ones I will read out. So OP says, LMFAO, our medicine cat is definitely carrying kits. We can all tell. The first reply is, imagine posting this publicly. And the second reply is Common Thunder Clan L. And there's other comments in there, but one person said, if you're a medicine cat, you are a public figure and cats are allowed to comment on you. LOL. Another one is, why are you doxing cats over other clans' business? I'm sure your leader would love to hear about this. As this continues, it just keeps going on. Fuck. So, somebody at the very end says, does anyone in this thread like Catmint? And one person responds, yeah.
Oh, I love the fans of this series so much.
The fans of Warrior Cats are my heroes. Because
what is
honestly,
it like to be the funniest motherfuckers?
literally, like, the amount of fucking hilarious Warrior Cats TikToks I get.
I want more. I need more Warrior Cats TikToks on my feed. I'm sure you've probably sent some to me recently that I haven't seen because I'm a little behind on my TikToks again, but I need to watch just more of them in general.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, here's another one.
Please.
When you're talking to a cute she-cat and then she mews to you, she's from ThunderClan, frowny face. I even gave you a vole that I caught myself. In the comment, why does this have over 30 notes? This is literally anti-ThunderClan bigotry and no one is talking about it. God,
Oh my God.
need... You know what? There's this meme going around on Twitter. I think it's kind of dying off at this point where it's like tweet like X fandom is like X property is real.
Yes.
I really want one that's tweet like Warriors is real.
Please tweet like Warriors is real.
Maybe I'll do that from our Twitter.
I really liked also the one that that I sent to you a couple of weeks ago that I don't think is specifically about Warrior Cats, but it's just so us on this podcast, which is challenge. Be normal about those cats you were autistic about when you were 12. Difficulty impossible.
It's literally true. Here's another one. You call yourself a social justice warrior? Have you had your warrior ceremony? Have you sat vigil all night on your dashboard? Have you been given your new warrior URL? I think you're just a social justice apprentice trying to look cool.
Oh my god. What if I changed my Tumblr URL to my humble goat star?
Oh man. What a time. So yeah, that's basically, like, the state of things right now is that I just fucking, if you have good Warrior Cats memes, please send them to us.
Please send them to us. I love them so much.
I love them so fucking much.
Oh my god.
We don't have a quiz this week. Sorry,
don't.
gamers.
It's okay. Well, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, and they don't have a lot of Dawn of the Clans quizzes, but I did find for next week, there is a How Well Do You Know Grey Wing?
That's my little meow meow.
It's our little meow meow. So we'll do that one next week, I think.
Hell yeah. Any very special Clangen updates before we get into it today?
I messaged you about one that I needed to say on the fucking...
Oh my god, that's right!
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So there was, of course, the 100 kit challenge based off of the 100 kid challenge in The Sims. So I got really excited because I was, it takes forever, it seems. If you're like trying to get two cats together, it takes 5 million years for them to like actually have a litter together. Meanwhile, two fucking blorbos over there are just like popping out litter after litter. And I'm like, what in the hell am I doing wrong? Anyway, so I got really excited because my leader's mate was expecting kits. I'm like, thank God. Like, this was going to be the first, like, litter from this leader. And then, when the kids are born, it turns out the leader's mate had an affair with the leader's brother.
Clear sky behavior!
It's clear sky behavior! It's so topical. So yes, the drama that occurs in this fucking game is astounding.
I love it so much. Just the other day I got a thing that I had never gotten before, which was like one of my medicine cats just had straight up like a bunch of sort of visions, and it showed up and it's like this. I don't think this does anything mechanically, but I was like, this is sick. I love this. I want this to have more like I want something to do with this.
Yeah.
I have also been doing a 100 kits challenge, slightly different from the one that you're doing, I believe. It's kind of cool. It's basically like similar, except instead of having to change the partner every time, you have as many kits with the same partner as you can until either one or both of them have become elders, and then you swap out to sort of like the next in line, which is going great, except that sometimes my cats reach elder and I retire. They had one kitten in their whole, like reign, and I retire them, and then they have 2 more litters after, and I'm like, bitch, stop having kittens. You're not officially in the line anymore.
Yeah, drives me wild.
But it's okay because I just kind of threw them into the line because I was having a just garbage time. I have like 2 whole generations where they didn't have any kittens. It's really just a travesty. But
let's get into it, because I feel like
this book had both of us writing to each other like, I need to scream about this.
I literally did to my husband.
I know. I don't have a husband to scream to,
I
so
know,
I'm just like standing here sitting here on my couch looking at my dog like, Zelda, can you fucking believe this shit?
Shout out to my husband for dealing with me setting my book down in the middle of him trying to like keep it together during the Bones finale. He's like over there almost crying, and I'm like, let me tell you about this fucking bullshit in my cat book. Shout out to my husband Eric.
Shout out to Eric.
He really is a good sport about it, as much as he does roll his eyes every time I mention anything with warriors.
We love it.
Scout, why don't you summarize this hot mess for us?
All right. This is a summary and a half. Winter has set in over the territories, and the spirit cats are growing impatient. They gather all the de facto leaders in a shared dream and remind them of their goal to spread and grow like the blazing star. Clear Sky, king of misinterpretation, is convinced this means all the cats must once again live in a single group. But the other leaders agree they must follow their hearts and live in the place that calls to them. Tall Shadow leads some of the Moor cats to make a new home in the marshy pine forest. Several others, Thunder among them, decide to join Clear Sky. The remaining few wish to join River Ripple's camp. More divided than ever, arguments break out, as Greywing finds his opinions unwelcome in Tall Shadow's pine forest, and Thunder butts heads with Clear Sky over what's best for the cats under the oak trees, as well as over a certain lady cat who has once again entered the scene. Greywing flees back to Windrunner's smaller camp on the moors, while Thunder defects and establishes his own group, taking with him a small number of Clear Sky's dissatisfied campmates. It is in that moment that Thunder stumbles across two cats from the mountains. One of them is Quiet Rain, the elderly mother of Greywing, Jagged Peak, and Clear Sky. She is half-starved, wounded, and desperate to see her sons. Thunder is roped into a fetch quest to gather the family together before his grandmother succumbs to infection, and all of them are forced to confront their own mistakes, mainly Clear Sky's, and admit to her the reasons that only a few of those who followed the Sun Trail still walk among the living. In the end, amends are made. Quiet Rain dies surrounded by a family who loves her, and she is buried beside the mass grave at Four Trees, joining the rest of the spirit cats in watching over her family's continued journey. That journey continues almost immediately with the return of the rogues once allied with the antagonistic One-Eye, who make themselves known by kidnapping a pregnant starflower as leverage against her mate. No, not Thunder. It's Clear Sky this time.
Yeah. So, I mean, the one nice thing about me not having written down all my notes in our Google Doc is we can literally go through in order and talk about all the bullshit that happens.
Yes.
But before we actually start on our discussion, Scout, I want to know, like, just in general, what is your opinion on this book?
I'm just confused. I feel confused.
Mm-hmm.
I feel confused a lot.
I don't think it's a good book. I don't like it.
I enjoyed reading it in certain...
Mm-hmm.
There's, like, parts of it that I enjoyed reading, but overall, I'm just kind of like... There's a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be here.
There's so much unnecessary stuff.
We'll get there soon, I'm sure, but the whole thing, there's literally the fucking... where I know I wrote it more eloquently than I will say it, so I have to find it. Oh, it's Greywing, like, not talking about Slash and Fern.
Okay, yes, thank you. That's like the first thing I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, so he goes through the entire book. Okay, so Greywing, as they are leaving the moor, after they have decided to split up, Greywing hears something and is like, I gotta hear what that is, and goes and kind of, crawls and sneaks up.
Sneaks, yeah.
Doing the sneak. and catches these two cats, one named Slash and one named Fern, who are discussing essentially like Slash is trying to send Fern to spy on the cats that are settling in the pine forest with Tall Shadow. And Greywing, inexplicably, for the whole entire rest of the book, going into like the last chapter, spends the whole book being like, should I tell somebody else about this? No, everybody is, I don't want to ruin the vibes. Everybody is having like a great time, even though they're not.
Tall Shadow needs to like be comfortable being here.
Tall Shadow
I'm not
is
gonna tell her.
Yeah, Tall Shadow is so excited about her new home. I can't possibly tell her about the people who are maybe going to attack it.
For real.
And it is just like, I can feel so intensely it being not characterization, but instead a writer trying
Literally,
to
it's
be
a plot
like,
contrivance.
It's a plot contrivance to just like make this thing be a larger part of the drama and be like extended into you know, the rest of the book. And it's like, none of this is necessary.
Yeah. The plot, the pacing, and the characterization in this book were so buck wild to me. I was like, you know, I'm gonna read this because I want to know what's happening, and also because we literally have a podcast about it. But I was like, if I were reading this for fun, I don't know that I would have been motivated to finish it after reading those first 4 books. Because
I don't think I wasn't quite as cool on it as that, but there was a lot of stuff that I was just like, why are we doing this?
Yes, a lot of it is, why are we doing this? But yeah, the whole thing where he's like, I'm not going to tell anybody about it. The whole entire book, he's like, I'm not
literally the whole book. You have like, so many times, my guy.
And the thing is, like, that's not, Greywing wouldn't do that. Like, not to be, he wouldn't fucking say that. Not to be like that person.
He wouldn't
like,
fucking say that.
That's not in character for him. Like, keeping this kind of secret, he's like deeply concerned with everybody's well-being. He would tell someone immediately, but instead he's like, no, I should let Fern be the one to tell them about it. Like, no, you shouldn't. But like, also, and I get that they're setting it up, like this was, this book is very much just 300 pages of setting up for
the final
book in the series. It
and
does
it's
not
also
feel like it has its own plot.
No, it doesn't. It does not have its own plot. And that's one of the reasons that I struggled so much, I think, to write the summary, because it's like, there isn't a through line. It is a bunch of little things. It's like a side quest of a book.
It is a side quest of a book.
It's all these little things, these little threads that are kind of trying to be pulled together. And also, I really think that they set themselves up for this kind of struggle near the end of the series when they have this whole arc of like, it's one group of cats that then sort of slowly becomes all these other groups. And then you kind of have to invent these contrivances for why they decide to split up.
Yeah. Also the thing is, like, they slowly become all these other groups, then do it over several books.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it all in one book.
Yeah, they could just do it once. And even in this book, there's like multiple times when they say like, okay, this is it, we're done. And then
we're done splitting up, and then more splitting up happens. Yeah, it's... I have to like calm myself down.
I know, it's okay. I do want to call out positive thing here. I want to call out, so near the beginning of the book, they have this meeting, they cast stones again. We're getting a throwback to the first book where they were casting stones to decide where they want to live, and Turtletail's kits decide on different places. Owl Eyes and Sparrowfur decide that they want to go live in the forest with Clear Sky, and Pebbleheart wants to stay with Tall Shadow as she moves into the pines. And this is like devastating for Greywing, even though he accepts and understands like they need to choose where they want to be. Right. But it is, again, you know, this breaking up of his family. And I just really, really liked this little exchange where he goes to say goodbye to Sparrowfur and Owl Eyes, and the bit is, Sparrowfur met his gaze anxiously. We didn't mean to hurt you. I'm not hurt, Greywing lied.
Yeah.
But then Owl Eyes blinks at him and goes, "You're wheezing." And it's like, they know that when he's really upset, he can't breathe well. And it just really was like, ugh.
Yeah. That hurt me a little bit. I was like, oh, he's been through so much. Let him be fucking happy.
He loves his kids and he wants them to do what they want to do. But also, owie, he wants to be with them. I
will say, my first note for the entire book, StarClan is pissing me off.
I know!
Because, you know what? For once, I was actually on Clear Sky's side in the prologue, because he was like, you guys are not making sense. Can you be a little bit more specific? And they're like, no, we can't. And I'm like, no, you know what? Clear Sky was right in this instance, because you guys are being so stupid.
They are. But also, he really does go so hard in the other direction, and it is really agonizing. Does. My guy, Fluttering Bird, is literally like, will you just fucking, like, I feel like she says, that's sort of a separate thing, but he's talking to his dead sister, Fluttering Bird, who died in the mountains before they left, which they don't really explain, like, how she got there, because she did die in the mountains. I guess she followed them. It's very unclear. I don't know. And there's a whole thing that we'll get, like, later. I feel like there's a lot more instances of, like, spirit cats not being able to reach each other over sort of the
because of physical distance.
Yeah, because of physical distance. There is a physical distance, and there is, like, once connections between the groups are split, it's harder to make those connections. But she's I really do feel like she's talking to him and she's like, chill, you need to chill out and, like, make a family. And he's like, okay, I need to forcibly take my family. And she's like,
and make them all come live with me.
They have to all live with me in my house where I want to be. And she's like, dude.
Yeah.
He just doesn't let it go. But I do agree. I mean, StarClan always pisses me off. There's always going to be, like, in every arc, there is at least one moment where I'm like, StarClan is being fucking stupid.
Yeah, like, I love conceptually the idea of StarClan, but, like, in action, they fuck up a lot of shit.
They do, and it's like, just say what you need to say it. Just say the words.
Say what you need to say.
Say what you need to say.
Yeah, literally. Like, it's so annoying sometimes. They're so obtuse. It's ridiculous. We'll get into it more when StarClan becomes a bigger part of the series, because, oh boy!
Ooh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff because in the first series, it feels like it makes sense because it is like, it's difficult. It is a difficult thing for them to connect. And maybe they have something that happens in, like, these intervening years.
Yeah.
Where it is like, we have like 1 second to send a sign or to say, like, one sentence that's going to be the prophecy.
Yeah. But in this, they're just like, hey, you're all dreaming at the same time? Cool. We're popping in, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Note for me, I love Windrunner's little group.
Me
too.
They
are. I wish we could have had more of them.
I was really glad that we got the bonus chapters with them. That was great.
Windrunner, she's thriving. She's working through her trauma. She's getting better. She's got her little found family here and her little, like, biological family, and it's just very cute, and I like them a lot.
Me too.
All right, so I got some fucking quotes written down too.
Mm-hmm.
So we've mentioned in last week's episode and already in this week's episode. So we run into Starflower again.
Oh my god.
She kind of flirts with Thunder a little bit, and Thunder's like, well, maybe she's better. Maybe she's not lying when she's like, well, I was only loyal to my dad until he died. Like, I'll be loyal until you die. And he's like, well, maybe, like, we shouldn't be so mean and we should let her in. And Clear Sky's like, all right, you gotta explain it to everybody then if you're gonna...
He says you gotta explain it to everybody, but what's so funny to me about this whole thing is that's, like, never touched on again.
It literally is, like, a dropped plot point.
And they just
was
go,
wild to me. It was like the end of the chapter and I'm like, oh, okay, so we're gonna have some drama. And then there's another fucking time skip, which are really starting to piss me off. there's like another time skip, and we just like skip over several weeks, and he's like, oh yeah, Clear Sky's like Starflower's just part of the group now.
Yeah,
and I'm
she's
like,
just hanging out. And
so
we're
we're
like,
not gonna talk about how your best friend Lightning Tail probably reacted to that? Okay.
We're also not going to address. Here's what. Okay, I have one very specific problem with Starflower. I have multiple, but the one that really gets my goat is that she never tries to explain what positive qualities she experienced with her father. She's got that one scene where she's like, he taught me how to kill snakes, and that's all we get. And she's never like, here's why he was acting the way that he was acting. Here's why I was loyal to him until the end. She's just like, I was loyal to him because I'm loyal.
I think part of it though, so, and this is probably me inferring, like taking a lot of subtext and kind of running with it. I do not think that what she and her father had was obviously it was a healthy father-daughter relationship, because she mentions later on that like, oh yeah, I told my dad that yes, of course I would become Slash, old ugly fucking cat. I would become his mate. Like, he was very clearly grooming his daughter to like for political purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think maybe that's part of the reason is she never has anything like truly positive to say, is because it was mostly a like she was raised to just believe that loyalty was love.
Mm-hmm. And that in that case, I would like to see. I know. I think that that's a good read, and probably what they're wanting us to infer there. My thing is, I want one way or the other. I want her to say something about him, because she doesn't ever speak about him, and it's like, he killed a man.
Yeah.
And he almost killed a child. And he was just going to let people die. He was going to let so many cats die.
He really was.
With the sickness. I need to have some, like, I need to understand and, like, to know that Starflower understands that shit was fucked up, because she never gives me that feeling.
Yeah.
I do really like this quote from Thunder about Clear Sky. Dealing with his father was like picking his way through a briar patch. He never knew when he would step on a thorn. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
It's so true, because Thunder's like, oh, poor Thunder's got a lot of daddy issues in this one.
He does. I feel like,
because he's constantly like, oh, I'm gonna try and be a good son. We have the opportunity finally for like us to reconnect and get past what, has happened to us. And then Clear Sky is just treating him like garbage again. He's like, what the fuck did I do to my dad?
Literally. And then people are like, you should really forgive Clear Sky. He's trying his best. It's like, no, he fucking shouldn't.
The other thing, because I went into this, unfortunately, knowing that Clear Sky and Starflower would become mates, I did write criminal offensive side eye and all caps squint when Clear Sky says, oh, Thunder clearly still cares for Starflower. So you're not gonna like let that stop you from banging your son's ex-girlfriend?
That whole thing is so, it's
so funny to me.
Ooh, ooh.
This is what I was yelling to Eric about all of yesterday. It's just like the progression of the Clear Sky, Starflower, Thunder drama.
Oh my god.
Because I literally when Thunder and Lightning Tail are like, Thunder's like, okay, well, I don't trust what's going on between, I think Starflower is like either like going to betray my dad or something, like he
manipulating him for power, Right,
he does not think at first that there's anything romantic going on. Mm-hmm. He thinks that it is very much a like, oh, she's using him, or she is going to like try and kill him or whatever. So he decides, okay, well, they both left, so I'm gonna go follow my dad, even though he told me to stay put. And Lightning Tail's like, well, I'll come with you.
I do love that. I love these bros.
I do too. These two, they're important to me.
They're so important.
So they follow. They see Clear Sky and Starflower flirting like crazy by the river.
It's been, I just can't handle that it's been like one day.
Well, no, I don't think it has.
Because there was a time, there's a time skip there.
Undetermined time skip.
There's the undetermined time skip, but I still feel like the way that it's written, it's like this is the first time that Clear Sky has interacted with Starflower like one-on-one since she has come into the group.
At least that we have seen, yeah. And so I had to set the book down. I was like, the scene just like, I felt so bad for Thunder.
It's so rough.
And then Starflower talks to him about it.
Oh my god.
And she's all flirty and fluttering her eyes, and she's like, "Oh, Thunder, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you still had feelings for me."
So stupid. It's so stupid that I have this one. This I have a quote highlighted here. You and I are so different. Clear Sky and I have so much more in common. I understand him. I know why he's so tough and ambitious, and I don't judge him for it. I admire him. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I literally have all caps "shut" written with "Oh, Thunder, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you had feelings for me." And then Clear Sky's POV, he's like, does Thunder really want me to just like be alone forever because he's trying to ruin this relationship? I'm like, no, he doesn't want you to be alone. He just doesn't want you to bang his ex.
It's so unhinged. It's like so...
It's so wild to me.
My God. Just like every time I think about it...
This is the kind of...
It's every time I think about it, I just become more and more like agog. I'm more and more just like, what? I can't believe this is happening, and I'm reading it, and this is the way that the characters are reacting to it.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, this is the kind of fucking drama I live for in fiction.
Oh, it's very good, but it also makes me so mad.
I'm eating it up. But the thing that pisses me off is the way the others are reacting to it. They're like, Thunder, you should just get over it. I'm like, he absolutely should not. Like, he does not have to get over this.
Another really, really good Thunder quote that I have highlighted here. You're so determined to be right. This is too Clear Sky.
Oh, yes.
You're so determined to be right, you'll twist everything to prove it. If you mistook a fox for a rabbit, you'd keep calling it a rabbit while it tore your throat out just because you'd rather die than admit you were wrong. Fucking get him.
Yes, I wrote that down as Thunder gives Clear Sky the fucking business.
Give him the business!
Thunder really just like, he's not taking any shit in this book.
He's not, and everybody is like, why is Thunder being so mean? It's like,
no, you guys kept... He is finally standing up for himself. Like, oh my god. Greywing L moment was when Thunder has been traipsing around the entire fucking territory, leading Quiet Rain there. And they're like, well, we need you to... Greywing's like, well, I need you to stop complaining and go get Clear Sky now. And he's like, bro, I have not had anything to eat today. Like,
I haven't had anything to eat. I've been going all over the fucking territory, getting your sick mom.
Find your ass on the moors
because you didn't tell anybody where you fucking went. Yes. And he's like, stop acting like a kid. No, shut the fuck up, Greywing. No, Thunder is being so reasonable through this entire book, and everybody is acting like he is being a little baby bitch, and I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah, he's literally not. Like, Thunder is just, like, being a person.
Thunder is like being the only mature one in any of this.
Oh man! All right, so
before we kind of move on from this, I just have another Starflower Clear Sky moment.
Oh no, I also had one that I wanted to bring up.
I wonder if it's the same. Why don't you read yours? Because I read the last one, so we'll see if it's the same one.
Okay. So the next one, I don't remember exactly when this was, because I just wrote a lot of notes on Clear Sky and Starflower. Mm-hmm. Clear Sky's POV. He's like thinking fondly about Starflower, and he's like, at last he had a mate worthy of him.
Literally,
I'm like,
that's the bit.
I'm literally like, shut the fuck up. What happened to Storm, to Brightstream, to literally any other woman you have dated, because apparently they weren't worthy of you, even though you literally were having kids with two of them.
It's okay, so the extended version of that whole bit right there is Starflower talking to him. Her soft gaze met his. It's been a tough day. She reached forward and brushed her cheek, and oh yeah, we found a typo. It says she brushed her cheek.
Oh, is it Claw Sky?
No, she brushed her cheek with her muzzle. It's like, no, she's brushing his cheek. Okay, let me start over. We're going to start it again. It's been a tough day. She reached forward and brushed his cheek with her muzzle. But don't be sad. A few troublemakers have left, that's all. This is your chance to build the loyal, strong group you always wanted. Let Thunder go if he wants. His only ambition is to fill his belly. He will never be the leader that you are. First of all, fuck off. There's one more paragraph. Clear Sky let her words lull him. She wove around him, her thick pelt warming his. Icy weather was coming. He could smell it on the wind. Let Thunder find a new camp as Leaf Bear tightened its grip. He still had a loyal band of cats. He rubbed his mother into the soft fur of Starflower's neck. At last, he had a mate worthy of him. Absolutely untenable.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. I feel like Clear Sky is becoming a better villain through all this. His romantic escapades are more villainry than,
true.
Anything else he has done.
They do deserve each other because they're both fucking bananas. Their behavior is so unacceptable that they do deserve each other. You are worthy of each other because I don't want anybody else to have to deal with this.
Because you're both ridiculous.
Are we at the moment now where it's been like 3 days and Starflower's pregnant?
Oh my god, yeah. I also wrote down, already she's expecting, all caps, 2 question marks, horrible scribbling handwriting, because I could not fucking believe it.
How so fast? Again, how is his dick this strong?
He's got, he's very virile.
This man.
And I hate that I've said that on this podcast.
But it's true.
But it's so true.
Getting cats
if he fucks anyone, they end up having kids. It's wild to me.
It's so much.
I need to use him in my fucking Clangen.
You do? Yes, we need a Clear Sky in Clangen. We need his
Clear
kittens.
Sky mod.
Clear Sky mod. It's just one tomcat that gets all of your cats pregnant in one moon.
Oh my god. Yeah, so the Starflower ends up expecting kits, and it's a whole mess.
It makes me so mad because Clear Sky is suddenly like, I am a father. I love my unborn kittens. And it's like, you have a child right fucking here and you've never given a shit about him.
It's very have you watched The Good Place?
Yes.
Okay, it's very much like if you remember the episode where Eleanor sees her mom with her new daughter and she's like, why does she get that mom and I don't? And it's very much Thunder is having this he sees that Clear Sky is very excited for Starflower to have kids, and they're excited about it, and Clear Sky is even I'm gonna do better with these kids than I did with Thunder.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
and that hurts.
Stop treating Thunder like shit because he's still alive and you still have an opportunity to have some sort of relationship with him, and he is trying and you're not. You're just well, it's too late, Literally. I wish I could do more, but I can't do anything.
I like this a lot because I am not a child of divorced parents. I mean, my brothers are, but that's a different situation because my mom's ex never went on to be a better father with anybody than he was with them. But I know that this is a thing that happens between the children of divorced parents and their parents who remarry and have better families and are better parents to those kids. It really fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And I like
several
seeing
friends.
I like seeing that in these books. I think that this is a good
I think it's a very good especially because it is a kid's book, it's a good introduction to this shit happens.
Yeah. I just think it also fucking sucks, especially when your dad is making a better family with your ex.
Yeah, and with you actively trying to have a relationship with him.
He's trying so hard. I'm
because Thunder isn't that old.
He's not. He's slightly.
He's probably, I don't know, what, year and a half?
Year, 2 years, maybe?
Year and a half, 2 years?
Year and a half, 2 years. It's not that old. It's hard.
He's a young cat.
I'm sweating because I'm just so worked up over this book and everything that's happening.
Yeah. So about 2/3 of the way through the book, I literally had the thought, I'm like, okay, I read the bonus chapters from last time. When the fuck is Quiet Rain gonna show up? And literally the next chapter, I was like, we need Quiet Rain here. Things are getting too messy. And then it was literally the next chapter, Thunder finds Quiet Rain, and I was like, Leo pointing me. I'm like, oh, hey.
There she is. I know. I had that saved through the whole book. I was like, when are they gonna show up? I know it's gonna be at the least, like, the worst possible time. Yeah. Oh, and then queen shit for a lot of this.
She really fucking lays into her kids. She is just like, you all fucking fought each other? Are you kidding me? All of my sons fought each other and are trying to kill each other? What the hell are you doing?
I didn't write down...
She is so fucking sassy. It's great.
So sassy. I didn't write down the thing that she says to Clear Sky, but it was fucking... it was... Get him. Holy shit.
Yeah, I wrote down, she does say when Clear Sky is like explaining what happened and he's like trying to justify, and she's just like, you are no kid of mine. She's like, you're not my son. Like, this is fucked up and horrible. Get the hell out of my sight.
Yeah, she's like,
and then of course she doubles back and forgives him. But
in the moment, I was like, fuck yeah. But she should not have forgiven him. She didn't need to do that. And it's even like they do the whole thing where it's like, I talked to the dead cats and they said that it all had to happen like this, so you're forgiven. It's like, no, don't absolve him. Stop absolving him. Yeah. He doesn't deserve to be absolved. He's also still doing bullshit all the time. Everybody's like, Clear Sky's trying to be better. Is he?
Oh man.
Is he really? Because I'm not convinced.
Also, unrelated, pissed off that it took 2/3 of the book for River Ripple to show up.
We love River Ripple. He was just like...
Where has my man been? He's been chilling with Dappled Pelt and them. Great.
He's in his little bubble. I would
like a River Ripple POV, please.
That would be great. He's in his little bubble. He's like, I don't want to deal with all this. And you know...
I love how unbothered he is by their interpersonal family drama.
It's so good. It's so funny. I would love a River Ripple POV.
We will not get it. I looked it up.
Yeah, apparently I was trying to little skip into the Erin Corner. I don't really have much for the Erin Corner today. We're with Kate Carey for this book, which I think we're back to her. I think last time was Cherith Baldry again. And apparently she wrote a Tall Shadow POV at some point that got cut. But that would
have been nice to see.
It would have been nice to see.
That.
It would have been nice to see maybe why she was fucking treating Greywing like shit.
Yeah, she was really laying into him. Again, with the fucking shitty characterization in this book.
And that's another thing that it's just, there's a lot of characterization in this particular book that exists purely to drive the plot in very specific directions. Mm-hmm. I know that they have to write these books really fast. They have a turnaround that is like absurd on these books. So I understand using those kind of shortcuts because you're like, we gotta get this done. We gotta get this written. But also I would prefer it if it was better.
Yeah, I would like it to make sense. Mm-hmm. Please. Thank you.
Make it make sense, Erin's.
Yeah. Anyway, Quiet Rain dies. Pour one out for the queen.
Quiet Rain dies by being like, I love my sons. Goodbye.
Yeah. She got real sick and hurt when they traveled.
I would have really liked for her to... I understand.
Not have died.
Yeah, like I understand.
I feel like she very much did get fridged in this because her whole death was to like bring the brothers back together.
I know, it really was. It was, once again... I mean, we got a tally. It's in almost every one of these books so far is a woman dying for a man's character development. I think the only one that skirted it was book 2.
I think that's right.
Ugh.
No, maybe. I don't know. One of them. Anyway.
They do blend together. They're so short and we read them all so fast.
They're so short and we read them very quickly. Yeah. So, I mean, that's... So, there's a podcast that I'm a fan of, and I know, Scout, you've listened to a decent amount of as well, called Dungeons and Daddies. It's a D&D podcast. Shout out to them. Pros. There is a thing that they comment on with particular episodes where there's a lot of talking and not much movement. And they call them 5-footer episodes because they're like, we recorded for 2 hours and our characters literally moved 5 feet from where they were standing at the start. And I feel like this book was a 5-footer because there's so much that happened that did not need to be that long. Like, it did not need to be that much. And so much happened, but really in the end, did anything happen? Because Slate and Fern showed up at the very beginning, and then Slate didn't show up again until the very end.
Yeah, Slash. I was also doing this.
Slash.
Slate is a different character. I know, Slate is a different character. I did this in my notes, too. I was because they're so close.
Yeah. I can't wait until we get to our regular naming conventions. It's so much easier to tell the names apart.
It is.
But yeah, so like Slash and Fern show up at the very beginning, and then, you know, Fern's there from time to time, but Slash doesn't even show up until the very fucking end of the book. And I'm like, and I genuinely feel like this book could have been 2 chapters of summary.
It really could have.
It did not have this plot did not have to be a whole book.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
I think I'm of 2 minds. One is the actual plot that happened in this book did not have to be a whole book. The other is I do love all of the unhinged character stuff, which
true.
Does take up a good amount of the book, but I still think that this could have been a much shorter book or could have been, you know, part of a different thing. Like maybe Slash could have been, but I guess because we're setting up Slash to be the fun. I feel like they had 5 books worth of content and they kind of had to make it 6 books.
That's exactly how I feel. Yeah.
They probably had 4 books of content because the first book also kind of dragged. But you know, they had to make it a 6-book arc.
Oh, huge news for annoying people, aka us.
What is it?
I was looking up because I'm on the wiki, of course. As we discuss, I kind of fact check myself on the wiki half the time. And I was like, oh, you know, I would love a river ripple. There is a river ripple super edition coming out this September.
Yo, nice.
So
that'll definitely get added to our arcs. I guess it'll probably end up being...
and it's about it's about the cat part. Cats. Oh, fuck yes.
Yes!
Oh, I'm so thrilled.
That's going to be fun. I'm very excited, actually, for the super edition that we'll have coming up after we finish this arc, because it is about Moth Flight, and I love Windrunner's family.
I love Windrunner's family. They're so good.
I want to highlight this quote from the bonus chapters as well, which is Slate, not Slash, but Slate, who is the cat that... I'm rewinding. Greywing decides that he wants to be happy and healthy and also have a girlfriend again.
Yeah, because he's been like flirting it up with Slate, and he's like, I really like her, but also I have my family that I need to take care of.
Yeah, and he's finally putting himself first here, and I'm really proud of him.
Thank fucking God. I did write down, thank God Greywing goes to the moors.
Yeah, he was so... Another really, like... I'm just so... I bring it up every episode, but I'm so, like, enchanted in a way by the depiction of Greywing having this chronic illness and the ways that it affects his... like even the decisions that he can make and like the places he can live. He can't live with his family in the pine forest because there's you know, throughout the book there is this...
It's too stuffy.
It's too stuffy, and the pine sap irritates his lungs, and he needs the fresh air of the moor, and he tries so hard. He wants to keep helping. And then what really makes me mad about how like annoying Tall Shadow and Jagged Peak are with him is that he's already making like a really big sacrifice to come and live with them because he didn't really want to be in the pine forest. He wants to help Tall Shadow make this place for herself.
Yeah.
And he wants so badly to make it work, and she just treats him like he's trying to horn in on her thing because he's like, oh, here's a good way to build a nest. But why? Yeah. Why are we doing this? Anyways, he goes and Slate is like, took you long enough. And that's very cute.
Yeah.
But the bonus chapters are about Slate meeting Windrunner and Gorsefur and their family. And I really like this exchange between Slate and Mothflight, because Mothflight wants to play And she says Windrunner and Gorsefur are too busy, and Dustmuzzle says I'm too silly. And Slate says maybe Dustmuzzle is right, but there are times when it's okay to be silly. It's part of who you are. And I just thought that was so cute.
I love how much Mothflight loves Slate.
She
Mothflight
loves
is like,
Slate so much.
she's like, wait, Mom, can this be our new friend? Like, Mothflight is literally like, I found this stray.
Literally. Can we keep her?
It's so endearing. Mothflight loves Slate so much. She's like, this is my new best friend. And Slate's like, okay, this is kind of weird, but you know what? You're adorable. You're an adorable little child, so...
And at the end, when Windrunner the whole time is so much like, no, we don't need any more cats. And then the end, she's like, Slate, please, you have to stay. We love you.
She's like, please don't leave us. And then the way that they're all so excited for Greywing to come join them.
They're so excited, and like Windrunner, like I love the moments. It's very subtle, but these moments when every time Greywing visits Windrunner's camp, Slate is like, Windrunner is gassing you up, my dude. Windrunner loves you. Yeah. Windrunner thinks you're the best. And Greywing's like,
Windrunner is such a good, like, wingman.
It's true. It's so good. And Greywing deserves it. He can be, he fails sometimes. He sometimes is pathetic, but also...
We love pathetic men.
I love pathetic men, and I love Greywing, and he deserves happiness, and I hope he gets it.
I do too. I love every interaction between Slate and Greywing because they have such a funny way of flirting. It's like, it reminds me so much of like me flirting because it's like very ribbing sort of flirting. Like Slate and Greywing get attacked by a fox and Slate's ear gets torn and now both of her ears have tears in them. And Greywing's like, well, now they match. And she's like, is that supposed to be a compliment? And I was just like, that's so fucking funny. He's like trying to be a silly, goofy guy. And she like hits him with the, are you insulting me right now? And he has to backpedal and she's just kind of chuckling the whole time. It's so cute.
It's so cute. And it really...
I think he also says at some point that she resembles an owl. And she's like, what the fuck do you mean by that? You stupid idiot.
Greywing, Arrow Ace King.
Oh my god, he is a whole mess. I love them together. They are everything to me.
They're so good. I'm so happy.
Don't give a shit about Slash. I will say that. Like, I don't find him compelling at all.
No, I find him zero compelling, and especially because I don't care that much about Starflower. I think that there's an interesting... It would be really cool if this was another Starflower Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss.
I agree.
Moment.
I am interested to see if it happens. But...
I don't think it will happen, but it would be most interesting if she was in cahoots with Slash to manipulate Clear Sky.
I would love to see that.
I would love to see it. I don't think it's going to happen, but you know.
Yeah, well, you never know.
But the bonus chapters were a balm on my soul after the just nightmare that some of this book was.
Yeah.
And I think that's all I've got to say about this one. I yelled a lot.
I don't think I did too. My throat's starting to hurt.
Yeah, apologies to AJ, who's
so
going
sorry,
to have to
AJ. We've been
edit this. I'm
so
sure that I'm
today.
clipping like stupid today.
Yeah, I'm sure it's ridiculous. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So, Scout, why don't you take us for a little quick detour to the Erin Corner?
Yeah. My detour to the Erin Corner didn't bring up much today. Like I said, Kate Carey. We're back with Kate Carey today. I started to try and use the Wayback Machine to get onto
to see if you could read that Tall Shadow chapter? Yeah,
to see if I could find Tall Shadow, but I did not get a chance to finish finding it before the beginning of the recording. So, you know, maybe I'll keep trying to find that and circle back next time. I think that the sort of whiplash of characterization is pretty consistent with the Kate Carey books that we've had so far. Because I believe she did 3. I think she did 3, and then she's going to be doing 5 and 6. I still feel sometimes like she writes them without reading the previous books that she didn't write. There's a very interesting dynamic where there's also somebody named, I'll have to look it up in the future to make sure I'm saying it right, but I believe it's Twee, who is also one of the Erins. She, I believe, writes the Bear books.
The Seekers books?
Yeah, the Seekers books. But she has also helped the Erins that do write the cat books to come up with the plots for like the first 15 books in the series. I just want to look more into the sort of the way that the books are written in the future. So stay tuned for that. Watch this space for future Erin Corners. But that's what I got today. What about our sharing tongues segment today? What do you got for us, Jill?
Of course. I got not much. Unsurprisingly, it does not seem that this is a book that a lot of people have created content for. I finally figured out how to better navigate the Tumblr tag, but before I did that, searching A Forest Divided got me a lot of aesthetic girlies, gifs and photo sets of literal post dividers that you can like stick on your posts that like, you know, glitter gifs and stuff like that of trees.
That's so funny.
It was very good. A lot of the clowning on Tumblr, accompanied by, of course, you know, we've got folks who will draw the cats every single time, which is great. Love seeing Warrior Cats fan art. Just hard to show it off in a podcast, you know?
Yeah.
But a lot of clowning on Thunder for continuing to simp over Starflower, which, you know what, kind of deserves that.
Yeah, but at least it's a very short period of time.
And a ton of clowning on Clear Sky for misinterpreting StarClan.
He deserves it.
even went onto Reddit. I was like, oh, duh, we could also look on Reddit for any sort of stuff. So I searched on Reddit for A Forest Divided. Not much there, except for this one post from user Chinioka. Every time he says or thinks, I have an idea, I know what to do next, I immediately think, oh no, he's going to do something incredibly stupid and insensitive.
It's so true.
Clear Sky. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's so true.
I searched for some AMVs, didn't find anything, did find somebody's Forest Divided review that just says, why I hate A Forest Divided, Warrior Cats book review, and it is 22 minutes long.
We should watch that.
I kind of feel like I maybe should. Fix, none specifically for A Forest Divided, except for the retellings that I've been talking about every week. I did decide this time, because we're getting closer to the end of this series, to look up works for key cats in the series. So going in order from least amount of fix to most amount of fix. One Eye has 8 fix, in which he plays a central role and is therefore tagged. Starflower and Lightning Tail both have 13. River Ripple has 26. Windrunner has 27. Tall Shadow has 33. Greywing has 34. Clear Sky has 40, and our boy Thunder caps up at the top with 41 fix, in which he is tagged as a major character. And then
I'm glad he's beating his father. He deserves it.
I am too. In terms of some pairings that seemed popular among the AO3 fix, Lightning Tail and Thunder has 6 fan fictions about them.
Shout out.
I feel validated. Greywing and Slate have 8. Gorsefur and Windrunner have 9, and unfortunately Clear Sky and Starflower have 10 fix together.
Ugh.
Not much here for sharing tongues, but hopefully, you know, as things continue, maybe, next week I'm sure there will be a lot more, since we can kind of look back at the series as a whole.
Since it's the whole series.
Mm-hmm. Well, Scout, time for our favorite mind meld.
It's Warrior Cat
of the Week. Who's your Warrior Cat of the Week?
My Warrior Cat of the Week is, I think it's Slate.
Nice. Okay. For once, we don't match.
Woo.
Slate was my second choice, though. I was like waffling between Slate and my pick, which is Thunder, for like the entirety of the book.
That's so fair. So fair. Yeah.
Why is Slate yours
specifically? The bonus chapters really sealed Slate for me, but Thunder deserves so much better in this book.
I did not write Slate down until after reading the bonus chapters. Because, you know, she was in there and she was good, but she didn't play as huge a role, but the bonus chapters were very nice. Mm-hmm. I just think Thunder is a more interesting Firestar. I just like Thunder. I think he's a very fun character. I enjoyed his chapters the most in this book. I just think that he really did shine a lot in this book, and he is my warrior cat of the week.
Yeah, I love him. I have a fun headcanon or theory, perhaps, little tinfoil hat that sort of links these two warrior cats of the week together.
Okay.
In the bonus chapters, we hear about Slate's brother Cricket, who unfortunately dies in the bonus chapters. But he is described as a ginger Tom with some white patches, and he is described as very serious compared to his sister, who is a little sillier. I'm just saying, maybe Cricket is actually Thunder's dad, because
I love this tinfoil.
There's no orange cats in the line that could have possibly given Thunder the look that he has if he was Clear Sky's kid. I don't know. The genetics don't add up. And so I like the idea that maybe there was a little dalliance happening.
It's very possible.
At some point in the past.
I mean, litters
cats
of
can have
multiple
in
fathers.
One litter. Yeah, the same mother, different father in the same litter is all I'm saying. That's my little tinfoil conspiracy theory.
I like that.
If you like conspiracy theories, have any of your own?
No. Only about warriors. We do not want other conspiracy theories.
Yes, please. If you have warrior cat specific conspiracy theories or thoughts, opinions, questions, memes we talked about earlier, please send us memes. Share them with us. You can write to us at pawsandclawspod@gmail.com. That's paws, as in what a cat has, claws, as in the part of speech, pod, as in podcast. We are also on Twitter at Paws and Claws, and on Tumblr at Paws Clause Pod. Listeners who are 18 years and older can come join us on Discord, which will be linked in the show notes. You can find me on Twitter or Tumblr at HumbleGoat, and you can see the art that I do, including our podcast cover art, at scoutwilkinson.myportfolio.com. Links to my portfolio as well as my Ko-fi page are in the show notes as well.
And you can also, unfortunately, find me on Twitter at plot_twists or on Tumblr at antique-romantic. Our next episode will be out in 2 weeks, where we will discuss the final Dawn of the Clans book, Book 6, Path of Stars. Read along by buying the book from a local bookstore or checking out a copy from your local library. Until then, dear listeners, may StarClan guide your paws.